Recording it.
My project for share art, a donation. I was riding by.
Actually, you can grab the chair, please.
I was biking by Janelle Pavlovitz's house on Broadway in Decorah. And the woman who was cleaning out her house, Janelle died. The woman who was cleaning out her house had gone up in the attic and brought out boxes and boxes of textile things. And she said, there are a lot of quilts there and we need to get rid of them. She said, there are some quilt tops too. So I went over and looked at the quilt tops. And this is part of one of those quilt tops. In that box, there was one that said 1895. This one is probably 1900, somewhere in that range, judging by the fabrics. It had one corner that was a little faded, especially the blue fabric was faded. So I trimmed off the faded part and quilted this with a new batting and a backing.
And the backing's really cute.
The backing came from exchange from Mike Ellingson. It has little children at the beach in old-fashioned clothing with red and blue in there. So then I decided, the woman who was cleaning out said, if you do something with these, just make a donation to the Senior Citizen Center, because that was the organization that Janelle really wanted money to go to. I know that she was also a big supporter of the Oneota Film Festival. And so money from this will go to the senior citizens. But then I decided that the small pieces could go to the film festival. So where is this one? That one, the blues around those squares was so faded that I completely cut those off and replaced them. You can see that that blue is a little bit darker. And so these pieces will all go, the donations will go to the Oneota Film Festival in Janelle's honor. And she would be very happy. I still have 2 more pieces, and I shared one with Mike, and you will see his at the quilt show. And he quilted the baskets from 1895. So it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Before I lose Nancy's attention, we found one other quilt that I put in for the President's Challenge, and it's beautiful cross-stitch embroidered one, and it's pink with pink and white prairie points around it, and it's just gorgeous, and it has a matching pillow. But we found that later after you were there, and so yeah, you can't imagine the treasures that lady collected for, and the memories that we shared at that sale were just phenomenal to all the people. And I got to know Janelle more so after she was gone than I had not really met her too often. The time she would come by our flower garden, and Mike and I would talk to her and stuff like that. But other than that, and then I got involved with the senior center. But that is just some of the things that, you know,
By Janelle and quilted by me, where and year, so that someone would know.
Yeah, and so I told the girl to write up something about to go with that quilt too, on the back of it. So
yeah, that'll be great.
Very cool.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Ellingson from Decorah. First of all, if you've got any balloon covers that you've made for the sunflower center, get those to me so I can get those delivered. As Nancy said, she delivered a quilt top to me, and it was an old one. Now it's
Upside down?
baskets.
Down.
No, it's
no, it's
either
not.
way.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's made for that.
You'll notice the baskets go in two directions on this one. And so I can't exactly figure out why. If one of you knows, I would love to have that discussion with you. Down towards the lower right corner, there is a basket where embroidered on it is May 1896. Now, I don't know if that's when the block was made, if that's when Aunt Tilly was born, if that's when the family farm was, there's nothing that says. It appears to me that the blocks were hand-pieced by one person, and then years later were set into a quilt by another person. Like anything that's over 100 years old, it's got stains and fading, and I did not wash it because I think it's the kind of quilt where if you wash it, it's gone, or a lot of it is gone. So I just quilted around the baskets. I quilted in the ditch and then did feathers going through the setting triangles there. But the quilt is 85 inches by 90 inches. I mean, it's a good size quilt. And the only thing I added was just plain backing, binding, batting,
What did
and
you choose?
a few repairs.
What did you choose for the binding? Because.
Just a navy polka dot that would disappear. Has anybody heard? I mean, I've seen basket quilts go by with baskets going in two directions, but I can't figure out where this one would be used.
Maybe they put it over a couch
That's
or
so-
something
so
that
on
they
the other
sat.
side, I have one from 1849 that's the exact same way.
Okay.
So they lay on the bed, they're on the right side up on both sides.
Yep.
And then the other cool thing on this one is that these are actually, they're blocks cut in half. They weren't created to be half blocks. And over there, they ran out of blocks. So one of the blocks is going down here in the corner.
Yeah. Oh, it's going on.
One of the blocks is going out this way because that's the last half a block they had.
Or otherwise known as maybe people won't see it.
Or
maybe it's their signature
quilt.
One that I worked on, there were places where the background piece, they obviously said, oh, damn, I ran out of the background. Oh, well, I'll just put two pieces together, make it big enough, and it fits.
Yeah.
You have to look hard to find it.
Yeah.
So,
And even if you find it, cool stuff.
There's a group of us in Shell Rock and we make quilts for charity. And one of the girls this morning said, I was doing this and she was making 9 patches and she says, and I ran short. So she says, I put two, I mean, they were itty bitty pieces. She put them together so she had enough for that last block. So we're still doing it in our old age.
we're also resourceful.
I'm Carol Mackey from Decorah.
I need to move.
Quilts of Valor that it was a mystery quilt and I didn't know what it was until I got done with it, so I waited until I have all the clues. So, and Roxy Thompson from did the quilting on it.
Do you know what the name of the pattern is?
And just
It's just big squares and small squares.
yeah, it is.
That's a good name.
It's like 6.5 inch square. They're just called a mystery quilt. I think from 2022. I think
Yeah, I think so.
they come out with a
It's very similar to a Villa Rosa pattern called Lover's Lane.
what's that?
It's very
Oh, yeah.
similar to a Villa Rosa
It
pattern
could be,
called
yeah.
Lover's Lane.
Okay, and then this other one, my daughter has been making baby quilts for, she doesn't have any children herself, and she's made quilts for all of her friends, and these are leftover pieces, and she thought I should have a partake in her quilt for their new camper. So it's just, she put the bricks together, the brick and the background, and then I got all these pieces, so I had to put them together, and she'll be coming this month, so she'll be taking it back to Portland. They're camping with it. And a couple Saturdays ago, I was at a estate sale for Eileen Smith's. And she had done all the embroidery work on here. And then the fabric was here, why don't you hold that one up? And that one will go in the canister one, and then this one will be in the show. You can see I'm not done with them yet. But she did all the I'm assuming work. I did finish it, so.
Thank you.
I'm Melody Prosper and I'm not new here. I just retired, so I can come
Yay.
in.
Congratulations to.
I recently spent a little extended time in Rochester because my husband just had a kidney transplant. So I was bored because he was sleeping all the time. So I decided I had to go do something, and I found out there's a craft room there, and I met two wonderful ladies, gal in her 30s who had a heart transplant, and her mother was there with her. And they introduced me to the craft room. So then I had to go shopping, and I found out that Michael's now has some fabric. So I got this fabric, most of this at Michael's. The red ones came from Walmart. So I threw a 3-yard quilt together while I was there. And then my daughter got married this spring, and this isn't exactly quilting, but her bridesmaids and a number of them wore boots, and her husband. And so I made these for favors for the table. Oh, and then I made a quilt for her, and that'll be in the show.
This one is almost done. And it doesn't really have a top or bottom. This was a kit that my mother bought a long time ago, probably the end of the 70s, beginning of the 80s, and never did. And when I pulled stuff out, I figured that maybe it was because there were about 3 or 4 fabrics missing, and she just, set it aside and went on to something else. So anyway, I got this stitched up and quilted it, and I used a variegated thread, and then I got about halfway and I thought, oh, I wish I'd chosen just a purple that would blend, but I was into it, so I just went with it. So anyway, I will finish stitching the binding this.
Your mom had good taste in fabrics. Your mom had good taste in fabrics. Those are
Well,
pretty.
yeah, I think these were Ginny Byers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when she bought it, probably would have been her, her era. So,
Well, she just closed her store not long ago. Well, she did. She had a shop on the East Coast, Jenny.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, my girlfriend went there when she went to visit her kid in Virginia.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Timeless.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need help.
No, I'll be okay. I'm Peg Lark from West Union, and this was my one of my projects at the retreat in last month. I had big goals of doing 5 of them. This took me a day and a half. So I still got to do 4 more, but I just loved it when I saw the pattern. So Christmas gift. And then since I gave up on that, I put this together. It's just a 3-yard quilt, but it filled in the time. It's not very big. But I liked those prints with the big flowers. So. It's nothing real fancy, but it was called a button box, I think. And then at the quilt shop, we were at Farmer's Daughter. So I bought a pattern and fabric and had to make this. And the skeletons glow in the dark. That the kids would like that. Can you hold it higher? Oh, sorry.
Did you go in the bathroom?
Where's the light switch?
You've tested it in the dark.
Yeah. At the retreat. We're working from the Quora, and I'll let you have one. These are some quotes that I put together for Project Line. Is it a PDF? Kind of have an up and down.
It's a tracer.
Yeah, I wish I could find more of that. I love that.
That's really fun.
And I love this backing I found too. I think that's really cheerful for the kids.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I think I've made 4 of them.
Any others?
We like to find.
It's going on and on. It's so fun.
You want to set up my quilt room?
I can never remember. So I get the Jello. It does not make a lot of difference what's up and down like this. But this is an example of the projects always keep. When I got done, I looked at the magazine. It was 2007.
Yes.
For the page 40 projects, if you are bringing it to the show, if you could take a picture of your page 40 and send it to me ahead of time, I'll have those ready and available. Thanks.
Are you also setting up the shady characters too?
I'm sorry?
The shady characters, are you setting that up too?
I am.
Okay. You want pictures of those or not?
Well, it's all one
Well,
color.
that's just based on a color, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the picture. Yeah.
I need
That's a picture of the inspiration. Yeah.
Yeah.
your quilt. I didn't get started recording.
Oh.
So I need you to stand up and do this one more time, please. Please. Record button and I did not get along.
And this time I'll say my name.
There you go.
Mary Loud from Decorah. And I pieced this and Kathy Alciser quilted it. So she did a lot of quilting on it. This will be a President's Challenge. And we're donating it to the Decorah Corral.
So he was sleeping, so they went over to Michael's, they now have some fabric. So I bought fabric and threw together this 3-yard quilt.
That's so cute.
We're making some quilts for the nursing home in Walk On, so I figured some lady that had chickens years ago would love that. And then my daughter got married in May. This isn't exactly quilting, but her bridesmaids wore boots and the guys wore boots. So I made these for the reception tables.
So cute.
Tables.
So cute.
And the quilt that I made for her will be on the show.
Oh, nice.
She's using it, so I have to sneak it away from her.
Martha Barton-Hagen, I told Sandy I'd have show and tell now, so I took the workshop with the cork, and Sandy had it all cut out for us, so it was very quickly.
Oh, cool. Very cute. Yay. Anyone else? So the next meeting is going to be again in West Union on November 5th, which is also election day. So please make sure you go and vote. The program will be the ladies from one block over. They just celebrated their 20th anniversary. So they're going to talk about plans for the upcoming year. So just to let you know that.